Are you a game master? If you are, you know that feeling when you've been laying tracks and building worlds and weaving stories together for a very long time. In this particular case, going on a year. And you're finally getting to that point where you get to that session where like a lot of the stuff's going to get revealed and kind of sorted out and dealt with. And that's tonight's game. I've been very anxious and very nervous, but also very much looking forward to this one because it does culminate a lot of the storylines that I've been building for basically about a year now. So in the words of Cato, don't fuck it up. So I'll try not to. Thank you for joining us, everyone. Thank you very much for being here with us tonight for the fourth in our series of 5 Vampire the Masquerade Lights Chasers, little one-shots that we're doing to show you kind of what's going on with some of the main characters of the series and building some connective tissues and solving some plot lines. Tonight, our story will feature 2 amazing performers. Thank you so much, Varl. Bradley coming in with some more, so 2 more advantages for each of you, 2 more night moves. So you're loaded on night moves. Thank you very much, gang. 2 excellent performers, 2 people I love playing with the most are here tonight to play this little 2-hander. And let's meet them right now, though you know them for sure, but let us give them a chance nonetheless to tell you who they are. And we will start with Miri. Hi, Miri. How you doing?
Hi, I am not nervous or anxious about the outcome of this game at all. I know that Bleak has only my best interests, both physically and mentally, in mind. Hi guys, I'm Myriad, or Miri, whatever you want to call me is fine. I stream here on twitch.tv/myriad_, where we do a myriad of things over on my channel, including art, variety gaming, as well as TTRPG content. And I play Cassie, a Malkavian, which I feel is all you need to know about her.
The rest will be revealed. Cassie is like an onion. There are layers and layers and layers, and at the end, you cry. Thank you so much, Miri, for coming back time after time, even though I heap trauma upon you.
It's fun. I guess I like it. I don't know.
I guess against your better interests.
Thank you so much, Miri. Yes, and next up we have Cato. What's up, Cato?
Hi, that's me. I'm Cato, aka the Helena Handbasket, and I am here tonight playing Vorena. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Good old Vorena.
Good old Vorena.
Making mommy and daddy proud. Thank you so much, both of you. Before we dive into this particular story, a couple shout outs, of course, to my main man, right-hand man, left-hand man, both my feet, my ears, and my eyeballs, Miko, who suffers indignity upon indignity whenever producing for me, but does so with a smile on his face. Thanks so much for producing, Miko, being out here and keeping this entire thing running. I truly appreciate you, my man. Also, shout out to Raven Sarah, best mod in the land. Thanks so much, Raven Sarah, for all the hard work you do for us, and for keeping me on my toes, because Raven Sarah sends me stuff like the origins of mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, just to make sure that I have my facts straight, and I appreciate that very, very much. Music tonight, as always, is by the incredible Tim over at tabletopaudio.com. And with that said, mine friends, let's get into this without too much further ado. Tonight's game takes place a couple of months after the end of Lights 2 and about a week after the events that happened in the one-shot 3, where we saw what happened to Vincent in Venice, and the one-shot Anathema, where we saw what happened to Nicholas in New York, but also the fact that Nicholas retrieved the True Cross. So we'll see what happens with that. To get us started, I chose some words by Conrad Aiken from The House of Dust, Part 3. The lamplit page is turned, the dream forgotten. The music changes tone, you wake, remember deep worlds you lived before. Deep worlds hereafter of leaf on falling leaf, music on music, rain and sorrow and wind and dust and laughter. Tomorrow, what? And what of yesterday? Those soundless labyrinths of dream you pass through many doors to the one door of all. Soon as it's opened, we shall hear a music or see a skeleton fall. We walk with you. Where is it that you lead us? We climb the muffled stairs beneath high lanterns. We descend again. We grope through darkened cells. You say, this darkness here will slowly kill me. It creeps and weighs upon me. This is the thing remembered I would forget. No matter where I go, how soft I tread, this windy gesture menaces me with death. Fatigue, it says, and points its finger at me, touches my throat and stops my breath. They brush me, fade away like drops of water. Let us retrace our steps. I have deceived you. Nothing is here I could not frankly tell you. No hint of guilt or faithlessness or threat. Dreams, they are madness, staring eyes, illusion. Let us return, hear music, and forget. Cassie. It's been about a week since Vincent just up and left without really telling you what was going on, where he was going, what's happening. You've been a little bereft after the events of New Mexico, the attack, the savage attack on the lot of you, having to hike back, find your way back from there, the events of New York, all those ghosts. You were ready to take a little bit of a vacation from ghosts, but it seems that the ghosts are not finished with you as you walk through the streets of Chicago, having lost so much. Having lost April, having lost Elliot, having lost Vincent, having lost so many people. Even Helena these days doesn't seem to return calls as much as she used to. Yet you're never alone. Everywhere you go, you see them. Everywhere, ghosts, hovering, flitting, so many of them. You've never seen so many in your life, and they're not doing anything specific. They just hover there, but there's so many of them. It's a veritable plague of ghosts, just wall-to-wall ghosts everywhere you go. They have this strange quality that seems to be that of a void that is trying to suck the life or the aura of people around them, but people don't notice. They keep walking on by, keep going to work, keep going to school, keep going to the cinema, keep eating, keep fucking, keep doing whatever it is that they're doing. But you see them everywhere you go. And as you're walking through long sidewalk in the neighborhood of Ravenswood, looking at the Gothic houses along that row, wondering if perhaps it might be time to find a new place to live, a better place to live, a bigger place to live. You have money. Vincent left a whole ton of money in an account with your name on it. You see another ghost. One you didn't quite expect to see, and this one seems a little different than most. He seems realer, more physical. And as you approach and slow down, you recognize him. Seems like it was years and years ago, but in reality, it was only a few months ago since you saw him. The professor, down in the basement of Edgewater. As you see him again for the first time in months, you remember how the last time you saw him, he was telling you about this woman named Odette, this woman called the Madonna, that he seemed to be obsessed with. He seemed to believe that there was some link between you and her. You think you felt her presence when he told you about the labyrinth, and you think you felt her there wrapping herself around you. You think you saw her light emanating at the center of this labyrinth. And then the agents from Aegis attacked. You and your friends got away, but they took the professor. That was the last time you saw him. Teddy told you something about Owen telling her that Aegis and the professor were torturing him, but that he'd escaped. And as you walk along this deserted street, you see him He smiles, seems happy to see you, and says, Cassie, please don't run. I really need to speak with you, Cassie. It's very important. It's very important. I swear I mean you no harm.
I think with the amount of ghosts that Cassie's been seeing lately, she almost feels at home with them. I think Cassie, for a really long time, was afraid of being a ghost. And that's because she never really knew where she belonged, and even less so now after being embraced. She's not living, but she doesn't quite feel at home with the other kindred. And so I think seeing all of these sort of ghosts flitting about made her feel not quite alone, when now more than ever she is very much alone without Helena, without April, without Vincent there. And I think seeing the professor just broke that peace that she was feeling in that moment, and she sort of steps back, looking like she is going to dart.
Please, Cassie, wait. You don't have to come near me. Just let me talk to you. Just let me talk to you for a second. And as he says that, you see a shape come out of nowhere on the side where the trees were, run into him, grab him, haul him down into the ground, start pounding him and putting an arm up to his throat and holding him down. And he's trying to fight back. And as you look at them, it doesn't make sense. This small woman. And as she's struggling and keeping him down and holding him down with a strength that is kind of completely incomprehensible, she turns to look at you, and you recognize Cora.
Cora?
Is this jerk bothering you, Cassie? And he's like, you can tell that like his face is panicking, and he's reacting way more than you might expect him to react.
Cassie will walk up a little bit closer, still keeping sort of a wide breadth away from the professor. It's okay. It's okay, Cora. You can let him go.
Are you sure? You didn't seem to want to talk to him too much.
Yeah, but I think he really wants to talk to me.
I bet he does. And she pulls back from him, and when she does, you can see that he's got 4 holes in his neck that are bleeding, as if she had sunk her fingernails all the way into his neck. She backs up.
Go on then. You want to talk to me? Talk to me then.
Yes, very impressive friends you've got, Cassie. The wounds start to close slowly as he gets up. He dusts himself off. Cassie, it is... Remember when you came to see me beneath Edgewater Hospital that first time, and I talked to you about the maze and what lay at the center of it, and now I thought it was connected to you somehow. That is still true. You have to understand that a lot of what's been happening in the city in the past few months, all the strangeness, a lot of it emanates from there. There is, he looks around and he looks at Cora, and he's like, I don't think I can talk freely in front of her. We have masks to uphold. Cora.
I'm going to look at Cora, and I'm going to try to look at her aura.
When you open it up, open your eye, your senses rather, and reach out and look at her aura, you see that it is extremely vibrant. There is a few colors mixed in there. She is wary. She is suspicious. She is kind of on high alert. But you see something very primitive and very powerful that's hidden there. And that seems to be kind of underlying all the other colors, as if there's something deep within or sort of inside of her that she's hiding and kind of keeping away.
I'm going to lay a hand on Cora's shoulder. whatever you need to say in front of me, you could say it in front of Cora as well.
Cora looks at him and says, I know what you are. No secret to me. And he looks at her and looks at you and he says, well, under different circumstances, if it wasn't such an emergency, I might not be so reckless with my words, but very well. There is, at the center of the maze, beneath Edgewater, there's something buried there, something very ancient. One of our people, very old, over 1,000 years old, easily more than that. They've been manipulating and controlling people, and they're engaged in some sort of revenge or holy war against a number of the others like us around here, some of the most powerful ones that are in the city. But in doing so, it is spreading corruption and chaos throughout the entire city, and there's something that's holding it at bay. There's something that's holding it at bay, and I believe that that's what's connected to you, Cassie. When I met Odette, remember I spoke of Odette. When I met Odette, I knew that she was the answer to this. After she was killed, I started researching her bloodline. It's incredible what I found. Your bloodline reads like something out of the Bible. It's the progenitor of your bloodline, Cassie, was someone called the 13th, who claimed to be a forgotten follower of Jesus Christ himself. He embraced Ariadne, who begat Giacomo Treccani, who begat Odette, who begat Marie Cachet, who begat Georgina True, who begat Samael, who begat you, Cassie. A through line, a thread that runs through the entire bloodline. Every member of your bloodline has swore that they can talk to God or see the light of God or talk to ghosts or see ghosts, spirits. There is a power in your blood. I believe that what is keeping this thing locked where it is one of your ancestors, someone called Ariadne.
What does that have to do with, like, if she's keeping it at bay, then she's doing what she's supposed to be doing. What does that have to do with me?
Her power is not indefinite, and this thing grows in power with every year that goes by, with every person it corrupts, with every person it sinks its claws into. Now I have the means of locking it in. See, over 1,000 years ago, what started this entire affair was when you've heard of Santiago, right? The cardinal of the Sabbat, right? Who ordered your creation. Over 1,000 years ago, he stole something called the True Cross from the casket, the sarcophagus that held this thing, and that's what allowed it to be free. I have that. I found it. I found the True Cross. I had found it once. Aegis took it, but it found its way back to me recently. It was brought to me from New York. I have it. If we can get down there, if I can get to the sarcophagus, I can lock it in for good and maybe even free your ancestor. Give her peace, that she may go on to whatever rest she has more than earned at this point. But I can't find it. I can't find the sarcophagus. Only you can follow the thread. Only someone from that bloodline can follow that thread that Ariadne laid all the way to the center of the labyrinth. See, she built that labyrinth, and it's the prison that's keeping this thing there, but it's falling apart. It's falling apart because too many people know, too many people are after it. The primogen of the Giovanni clan wants it. Aegis wants it.
And what will you do with it?
I want to lock it away. That's all I've ever wanted, to lock it away. I want to go down there. I want to put this thing back. And he pulls out this piece of wood, this cross made out of these two old sticks. He's like, I want to put this back where it belongs, to seal it so that your ancestor can find rest, so that this thing can be locked away for good. The thing that's in that sarcophagus is something called the Unnamed. I know it's a strange name. What do you want? We're Malkavians. Let's just deal with it. But a long, long time ago, there were 3 that were created from a sacrificial pit. The two that came out of it founded the Bali bloodline, the most evil bloodline of kindred that there exists. And the third that came out had no name, but all we know is that the first two were afraid of the third, and that's the one who's here. Some people think it is a descendant of Zimshi himself. Some people think it's a descendant of Cappadocius himself, which is why the frickin' Giovanni Primogen wants it. But we can't know. All we know is that it is extremely evil. It spreads corruption, and it is gaining control of this entire part of the world. It has manipulated people into getting it over 1,000 years from Jerusalem to here.
What makes you so certain you're not being manipulated? What if we're all being manipulated?
Because I'm fucking crazy. That's what saves us. We're fucking crazy. You can't offer something to someone who's crazy. You can't give them what they want. What are they going to want? What do you want? Would you know if this thing came to you and said, "Here, Cassie, here's your greatest wish"? You can never be sure of it.
I think when he says that, Cassie realizes in that moment that she doesn't know what she wants.
And that's what protects us. We can put an end to all this right now, tonight. We can go, you can guide me, you'll find the thread, you can follow it to the heart of the labyrinth. We'll find the sarcophagus, I will put this thing on it, we will liberate your ancestor, Ariadne, and that'll be it. I mean, I'm certain 1,000 years from now, someone will have to contend with it again, but at least for now.
Not our problem. 1,000 years from now, hopefully.
I mean, you know, this entire place could turn into a popsicle and melt away within the next couple hundred years, so who the fuck knows?
Still banking on an asteroid.
Yeah, I think that would probably be pretty cool. I always wonder, like, you know, what would it be like to just sit there and watch that asteroid? Like, would it happen fast, or would we like, okay, look, we're getting derailed. Okay, it's not the point. But what I'm saying is, we can get this done. And all you have to do is find a thread and guide me through, and I'll do the rest. And I'm sorry that I didn't approach you the correct way the first time, but I had it wrong. I thought you were a reincarnation of Odette. I thought that just by talking to you, you would realize, and we'd have that old connection that Odette and I had, but then I realized that's not what it is. It's the blood.
Who was she?
Odette was a French girl. I believe she'd been raised in a monastery, a nunnery, something of that sort. She was very, very pious, very devoted to God. She came here in the early 1900s. I met her around 1920 here in Chicago. She used to do readings at the World Fair for people. She was blessed with the touch of God. She said she could speak to God. She would see God.
There was a moment a few weeks ago where something took over my body, someone. I spoke French. What did you do to me down there?
I didn't do anything to you. I haven't seen you since that time where
you took
we were
something
interrupted.
from me.
Did you go back?
No.
You never went back to the Edgewater Hospital after I was taken?
I mean, I would walk by it, pace outside, and then they eventually tore it down and threw up a bunch of condos, so...
I didn't take anything from you. I implanted a suggestion in your head that would make you return there. If I was taken, if I was killed, if I disappeared, that you would keep going there. You would keep worrying about it, questioning it, being curious about it, so that perhaps someday you would discover what I had discovered if I were to be taken away.
Well, I guess you didn't factor in the fact that we're crazy, huh?
No, you know, sometimes I forget, literally, sometimes I forget. I'll get up in the morning and I'll be like, whoa, being sane is really, really fun. And then I'll, you know, start making myself some eggs and then realize I don't need anymore. But again, that's besides the point. Look, I am sorry for the way I approached you the first time. I am sorry I didn't know better. I know better now. I know better now. The time I spent at Aegis learning everything I could, knowing what they're intending, Aegis intends to release this thing, to prove to the government that we exist, so that the government will pay them to exterminate us. They will release a nuclear weapon at the center of the city of Chicago when they awaken this thing. They don't know how powerful it is, but they will awaken it just so that they can get more government money, prove that we exist, exterminate us. That is the real threat.
So I follow you. We find the thread, and we follow it to wherever my ancestor is. And we release her, and we seal away this thing.
Well, in the best of worlds, it's a good theory. It's a great theory. It's great.
Yeah, nothing could go wrong, right? Nothing bad could happen.
Oh yeah, I'm sure everything could go wrong and all the bad things could happen. I mean,
When people ask you that kind of question, you're usually supposed to reassure them that no, nothing bad will happen. Everything will work out and be fine.
I don't want to lie to you anymore. I don't want to lie to you anymore. I tried lying to you, and obviously that was the wrong tack to take. And so, turning over a new leaf, not lying anymore, at least to you. I lie to other people because fuck other people, but not lying to you.
Okay. So no more lying. I guess if this, if it means making sure everyone that we know doesn't die a horrible, horrible death, I'm assuming I should help you. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to help. I'm going to go and follow this thread. However, I do want Cora to come with me, because if you try and do anything weird, I have faith that she'll probably rip your jugular out.
He looks at her, and she's like, "Damn, Skippy bub." Okay, we can probably use the help. She's really strong. We can probably use the help. That's great. That's good. Oh, Cassie, that's fantastic. I'm sorry. Do you want to hold a cross? You can hold a cross if you want, if it'll make you feel better.
What are my vibes on the cross? Does it make me feel better?
You don't feel anything from it. It's 2 pieces of wood, and he's got 3 rusted nails in his hand.
I think Cassie will take it, and where she felt that there might be this great significance of holding it and having it in her hands, and she feels nothing. And she'll sort of twist it around a little bit, and then she'll shake her head and hand it back to him.
He's like, "Yeah, I'll hold it, no problem." He puts it in his pocket with the nails. That's not a problem. Things like this have a tendency to hide in plain sight, and they don't want to attract too much attention, so they.
Yeah, I figure if anyone comes looking for it, better you have it on you than me, right?
Yeah. You're the one with the bodyguard, but yeah, okay, sure, totally, yeah, absolutely, I'm down.
Yeah, twofold protection. It's like having double authentication.
I have no clue what you just said to me, but I'm sure that in some way, shape, or form, to some people somewhere on this earth, that would make so much sense that it would be like a fucking going off in their brains. So
Yeah. You're kind of old, aren't you?
Yeah.
How old are you?
Well, my body is a very young 47.
Sure.
Well, yeah, I've been around for a few years. Not that long. I'm not like.
Well, at least the 1920s, right?
Yeah, a little bit behind that. Let's just say that I was one of the first people to come over here on a boat.
Like a pilgrim?
Yeah.
Did you see Plymouth Rock? I heard it's just a little rock. I always thought it was going to be like a boulder, but it's just a little thing.
No, I was really dumb, and I took a boat that went north. I arrived in a place called Mont-Royal, which I think is called Montreal now. It was cold as fuck.
Oh.
I mean, it was
Canada?
bears and mosquitoes and fucking cold, and yeah, it was bad.
You're Canadian.
No.
That makes sense.
No. Okay, can we just go, because I feel like we're kind of getting off track here. And there was trauma back then. Like, it was very traumatic being one of the first people to come here, fleeing religious persecution and arriving here and being eaten by bears and mosquitoes and killed by Indians and fucking facing the winter 19 months out of the year. And I have trauma, right?
Okay.
I have trauma, and now you're just kind of poking at it.
Sorry
Like,
about
you saw
your
my trauma is lying there on the ground. You got a sharp stick, and you're like, hey, Professor's trauma. Hey, what's up? Wake up. Why are you sleeping, Professor?
I mean, trauma, it just means that you still feel something, right? That's good. It's good to still feel things. I think when you stop feeling things is when we have to worry about it.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. I'll buy that.
All right, Professor.
All right. Let's go. Do you have a car?
Do I look like I have a car? Do I look like I have my license?
He looks at Cora. Do you have a car? She's like, I have an Outback. Come on. You walk a couple streets over, you find her white Outback, sitting there waiting for you. She's like, don't get blood or anything on the seats, right? I just got this thing detailed. You get in. She starts the car. She looks at you as you sit down in the car next to her. She goes, look, I don't mind doing this. I don't mind going there with you to help you. Are you sure about this guy? He seems a little, sus.
What's that saying? Enemy of my enemy is my friend or something?
Are we sure that there's an enemy somewhere?
Oh, I think we have a lot of enemies around, at least from what we know about what's going on. Besides the thing under Chicago. There's that Cardinal dude.
Cardinal? Like the fucking Catholic Church is after you? Like the
No,
Vatican
it's like, I guess that's like how they, like, that's what the Sabbat, like, maybe they have religious trauma and they're just taking the naming conventions from the church, or maybe maybe they came first and then the church took the naming conventions from them.
Who's
It's like
to
a
say?
chicken or the egg.
Yeah, these things go back a long way, all of them. Question, have you seen my mom?
Not in a couple of weeks. I think she found her peace.
I saw her 2 nights ago, Cassie, and that's why I was coming to see you.
Where'd you see her?
There was a little coffee shop I used to like to go whenever I visit her in town, and there's a park nearby and a little bench, and we always sat on the same bench, except one time when it was covered with pigeon poop, and my mom was very kind of distraught about that. So after that, whenever I would go meet her for coffee, I would go a little bit early and make sure the bench was clean, and then we'd go and have coffee and we'd sit at that bench. And I was walking by, I was just on my way to meet someone, and she was sitting there. She was just sitting there. I approached her, and then I felt like she was trying to pull me into her, but she never saw me. She didn't react to me. I thought you might know something about it.
I thought that she would have crossed over by now. I thought that I was the reason that she was still kind of lingering about.
Professor leans forward. Oh yeah, there's been like a whole thing. Like there's ghosts everywhere. Like I don't see them myself, but someone told me that there's like something happened in Europe, and like it messed things up big time.
So
Telling
they
you,
like
it's the end times.
break the veil or something?
Break the what?
The veil? I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know the technical term. I assume there's some sort of barrier between us and them.
Wait, one would fucking hope. Jesus, he sits back.
Well, I mean, clearly there's not one now because they're all over the place.
Even the ones that are not supposed to be here. All right, where are we going? Edgewater what?
Hospital.
She punches at Edgewater Hospital in Google, and it doesn't come up on the Google Drive
What's
thing.
the name of the condos?
I think they're condominiums now, Edgewater condominiums.
And Edgewater condominiums?
She pops that in.
I don't know how to
She's like,
spell that word.
It's not important. It's another scam. And she types it in and she goes, oh yeah, okay. 20 minutes. Hang on.
Strap into the Outback.
She turns on the music. Cyndi Lauper comes on, and
I always knew. I always thought. My thoughts are confirmed in this moment.
Vorena, you followed your family, Carter and Birdsong and Lydia and Archie. You followed them into Chicago. You kind of had a bad feeling about it, but then again, you always have a bad feeling about everything. So when things went tits up, it didn't surprise you very much. You saw Silver shoot, scoot, and boogie out of there. Sorry, Little Bones, I probably messed up that saying. Boot, scoot, and boogie, is that what it is? Out of there, and then you were suspicious about him, but then when you saw Lee, you knew it was him. And then when those fucking Camarilla dicks jumped you and killed Birdsong, and that's the one that hurt the most. Seeing Birdsong go down. I mean, you never fought as much with Birdsong as you never fought with anybody else as much as you did with Birdsong, but you also never had a friend like him. So you went back after you were done dealing with all that fucking weirdness. And I mean, people call you weird, they call you weird. But they clearly haven't seen that fucking pit of dead people and bodies and all the shit you saw down in there. And then Archie turned and stayed there with them, and that was fucked up. But then you got out of there and you left those idiots behind. You made a deal with Francis to get Ophelia to the Cardinal, hoping that she would kill. Sorry, no, that wasn't you. That was Lydia. Sorry, I'm just mixing the players up. You all broke up. A couple of them took Ophelia to the Cardinal. Lydia went. You have no fucking clue. So then you thought, hey, I'll pay Lee a little visit. And you went and you paid him a visit, and you found him. You disguised yourself as this hippie chick he's dating, this Teddy person. You lured him in. You tortured him. You were going to kill him, but then something made you change your mind. So you put him in the ground. He's Sabbat. He's turned his back on the Sabbat. He had to go back. So you put him back in the ground where he came from. And then you weren't too sure where to go or what to do. The entire family was gone. You didn't really have friends left. But then you heard it. A little voice that started speaking to you. A little voice that reached out to you. Told you how sad it was that your family was gone, that your friends were gone. This voice told you that there were friends aplenty. So many friends. There was so much family for you to find. All you needed to do was follow it. It was oddly compelling, difficult to resist. So you did follow it. You followed it all the way to these condominiums. You found your way inside, went into the basement, and then you got lost. You got fucking lost. You have no clue where you are. It's a fucking maze down here. It's a maze. You've been here, you're certain, for at least 2-3 nights or days now. Wall after wall after wall, corridor. You're down to almost no blood. You're feeling that hunger stirring inside. There's not even rats. There's nothing anywhere. The voices stop talking to you. You feel like maybe it's waiting for something to happen. It's kind of keeping you on the sidelines, on the bench, waiting for something to happen. And meanwhile, you wander, lost in these corridors. You hear echoes of voices far away, but you never catch up to them. What's going through your mind right now as you're turning down yet another corridor and see yet another corridor and a wall at the end, and another corridor that goes to another direction? And
very, very lonely here. Lost and abandoned. They, like everybody, they just leave, don't they? Imagine I turn another corner and run into another dead end.
real problem is that you can't find fucking parking. I mean, you want to come down here, maybe go to the Alamo or something, but you can't as soon as there's like a fucking game on. I mean, who the fuck goes to a baseball game anyways? Then the other voice answers, I don't fucking know. I mean, if baseball was any slower, it'd be called farming. I have no clue why the fucking humans love it. I know they love to go there and just sit there, and then they fucking clog the arteries, and you're just trying to fucking get down there to go somewhere, and then there's just fucking a lot of them everywhere, and there's so many of them. It's not like you can eat them. No, you can't. You can't eat them. There's too many of them, and the fucking bars down there are fucking atrocious. These two voices, two young women's voices, echoing down the corridor, getting louder and louder as they approach towards you. I mean, Wrigleyville, what the fuck? I hate this place. I hate it too. We should move. Yeah, but we can't. I know, but I'd love to move. I'd love to move too, but, you know, we're stuck here for a while. God damn it. If I have to fucking drink the blood of another goddamn fat white guy from Ohio with a beer belly and hot dogs and fucking Miller Lite in his veins. Oh, there you are. Hi. And you see in front of you two young women, one wearing this long yellow raincoat, the other one this big blue winter jacket, backpacks on their backs. One's got pigtails and glasses, the other one's got pink pants, and they both got Crocs with a bunch of little thingies in the holes. Hi. There you are.
Hi.
Oh,
and I
you're
come over and start
looking.
putting my arms around them, but my arms are like too long and too thin, and I just like, I thought I would never find you.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Hey,
Yeah.
look, you're really freaky and you're freaking me out. Yeah, you're freaking me out too. Can you back up a little bit? Are you hungry? We got blood. We can give you blood.
Yeah, I'm
Jesus fucking Christ, she's freaky. She told us she'd be freaky. Yeah, but she's even fucking freakier than I would think.
I'm hungry. Stop talking.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Do you have any sort of specific thing you like? Because we just kind of brought some generic stuff and one of them takes off the back.
Not hot dogs.
Oh, no, fucking I hate hot dogs too. I can't stand. Even when I was alive, I wouldn't eat a hot dog to save my life. Oh, I loved them when I was alive. Yeah, a little mustard.
Too much talk, and I put like a very long hand on a mouth.
You feel a tongue licking your palm.
It tickles. Okay, and I take it and I just smell my hand.
It smells of patchouli.
I wipe it on my pants.
You know what's rummaging through the bag? Okay, here. And she pulls out this big kind of camping cold thermos thing. And she unscrews it. She's like, it's a couple hours old, but we got it from a pretty fresh source. They're probably still wriggling. Not for long. No, not for long. You're crazy. You know that? Yeah, I know. But you're the one they called, nightmare. No, you're the one they called.
I snatch it from them and like slap the top off of it and just go to town.
It tastes fantastic. It's the shittiest blood you've ever had. It could be fucking squeezed out of a hot dog, but it tastes so good right now as it goes down your throat. Fills your empty stomach, your empty belly. That's good. That's right. We got more. You need more? The other one takes out a backpack and gets another thing. This one was for someone different and a little hairier, but I took out most of the hairs that were floating on top, so you should...
Don't care, shut up, and let's do it again.
Well, that was easier than I thought. Yeah, I know. I thought we were going to be down here for a couple of days. It only took a couple hours.
I was down here for a couple of days.
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that, but that's okay. We came to get you.
Why did it take you so long to get me?
Oh, because she only told us to come get you a couple hours ago.
Who is she?
I don't know. Who is she? She doesn't have a name. Yeah, I think her name is unnamed, which is weird because I don't know if she's unnamed or if that's the name. Like, her parents were like, hey, let's name her unnamed. Because that's fucking weird.
As they're yammering, do I recognize the unnamed? Is that something I would know?
I don't know. Give me an occult and intelligence.
Okay. Not me getting into a TTRPG realizing I haven't pulled out any dice because I was too invested in the scene work. Oh. My palms are sweating so bad right now.
It's okay. They're just D10s.
I'm so stressed. You said occult plus what?
Intelligence. Myriad. You're fired.
What's my threshold?
You're looking for, in this particular case, I'm gonna say 8s.
I got 1 8, 1 10, and
Any ones?
1 9.
Any ones?
No ones.
Okay. Yeah, you recall that name being bandied about when you were in that pit, that hole down there, the one that Archie now follows, the one that Lydia also followed.
There you go. Unnamed. Dangerous. Unnamed is dangerous.
No, not at
Danger
all.
Pit.
Not at all.
Danger pit full of people. Really, honestly.
Oh yeah, but that's just the side thing.
No,
Okay.
Danger Pit is full of people. I had to crawl out of it.
I know, but she's very sorry about that. But that's kind of like a side thing. That's just like to keep the punters happy, she says. Look, there's like a whole thing going on there, but it's got nothing to do with the rest of us. That's really just like, it's kind of like when you're selling your macrame on Etsy. Like it's kind of a side gig.
Macrame. Filthy fabric.
Yeah, but people make money off that. I don't know. I considered doing it, but like the only thing I do, I paint rocks. Can I show you my rocks? I have really beautiful rocks, and the one called Night starts to read. Thank you for the follow and thank you for the bits. Another advantage from Bradley to both of you. Reaches into her pocket and pulls out a whole bunch of rocks that have been painted. She's like, this kind of, I don't know if they would sell on Etsy. Would you put your stupid fucking rocks? No one cares about your rocks, Night. Hey, look,
If
maybe
you
she
two don't
cares.
stop talking now, I'm going to make your eyeballs into rocks permanently.
You see one of them go, and you see one of them go. I mean, it could be interesting, but can you do that? Like transmute matter? Like I know you can like mess around with it, like you're playing.
Trust me, I can do whatever I want.
Oh, okay, I believe you. Hey, you want to come with us? We'll get you out of here.
Yes. Now, please.
Okay. All right. Let's do it. Let's go down. So as you start walking down a corridor, they seem to know where they're going, but it seems to just be one corridor after the other, like you've been experiencing for a while. So as we go in and kind of get nearer, you might start experiencing certain weird things, like see ghosts or experience visions or have acid flashbacks, things of that nature. Look, if you start really freaking out and we got to put a stake in you just to keep you calm, is your heart where it's supposed to be, or do you have it somewhere fucking ridiculous like your left tit or your ass or your foot right now?
Where is it supposed to be?
Like right there, and she presses on your chest where the heart should be.
Oh, I've had this wrong the whole time. Oops.
But you had to move it, didn't you? So you had to know that you were taking it from where it was originally and put, or did you just forget where it used to be because it's been so long?
Little column A. Little column B.
Right. Well, and she leans over, Night leans over to Mare and goes, and they say we're fucking nuts. Yeah, the Zimshi are whole nother breed, girl. I'm telling you. Yeah.
I want you to know that I can hear you right now.
Oh,
Thanks for the snack.
No problem. Hey, would you like a Tootsie Roll? And she hands you a Tootsie Roll.
No.
Okay.
It's bad for your teeth.
I know, and she smiles at you, and you see her teeth are all like kind of black and kind of crooked and cracked, and it's just her two nice fangs that are sticking on either side.
I can fix that for you.
Oh, gee, can you?
Yep.
I have like a mortal fear of dentists ever since I was alive.
I can't sedate you, but I can fix this.
Oh, it's okay. I like the pain. I'm just afraid of dentists. They freak me out. It's like clowns freak people out. Dentists freak me out. I'm like,
and I put both hands like along the sides of her cheeks and just start going to work.
You hear the bones crack as you're manipulating the teeth and like pulling out new ones and redoing the enamel and all that, and her eyes go wide, and the other one like comes over and she's got a little flashlight and she's kind of flashing it in and kind of looking, and she's like, this is so fucked up. I can't believe this is one of the most fucked up things I've ever seen.
This is child's play.
Oh, it's fucked up child's play. I've seen that movie and it's nothing like this.
It's something like this.
after a while, you've redone all her teeth, but you've taken a few liberties, which are aesthetic, but you figure, you're doing this for free. So she's like, wow. Oh, hey, does my voice sound different now? Because I heard that when you get like new teeth that your voice can say, is my voice different? No, your voice is exactly the same as it used to be. The sound of shit falling downstairs. So thank you. That was very graphic, and we really didn't need that.
I think that I probably made the teeth too perfect. Like, it's just eerily fucking perfect, like example of dentist's office, perfect bite, everything, with just like the sharpest little fangs. Like, it looks comical.
Knight says, yeah, they're kind of weird now, a little off-putting, but not more off-putting than it used to be. All right, shall we keep going? Are you still hungry? I think I have a little bit left if you're still hungry.
I will always take a snack.
Okay, let's go. You turn the corner, and when you turn the corner, you find yourself somewhere else. You're in a room in a castle somewhere. There's big colored glass windows. Sunlight is streaming in. There are toys everywhere, but not the toys of a child, the toys of someone who is maybe around 13 years or 14 years old. There's a desk with some papers and things to write and some paints, an easel, things of that nature. You hear a door unlock behind you, and you hear a voice say, there's a friend here to meet you.
Friend?
And as you say that and turn around, Cassie, what's up, Marion?
You know what you're doing.
Cassie, you're standing again in front of Edgewater condominiums. It seems like your steps keep leading you back here all the time ever since that first time you came here. Just keep coming back here all the time. It looks a little bit different now than it did when the first time you came here. It's like a nice, if somewhat unsettling looking condominium. There doesn't seem to be many lights on, like almost no one lives there. This place has a reputation for being haunted, and well, you believe it. You get out of the car. Go ahead, sorry, I interrupted
I think
you.
that even though like this place is like new, it's got the condos and everything, I think when Cassie looks at it, she still sees Edgewater Hospital. And it's like a ghost of a building, essentially.
Fair enough. And as that thought goes through your head, almost as if he was listening, and the professor said, well, there is a theory that I have that there is this place called the Shadowlands, and in the Shadowlands, or the Land of the Dead, it's called someplace. It's kind of like a mirror of ours, but it's kind of like dark and weird and kind of unsettling and whatnot, but it mirrors our world a lot. But there's another layer beneath that's called the Labyrinth. And I think that what is here, this maze that's at the bottom of this place, I think is a door to that place or an emanation of it. So, you're not that far off. It's possibly a ghost building.
Wait, so am I going to an actual maze, or is it like a metaphorical maze?
Bit of both.
Oh.
Yeah, I've never been able to go very far in it because, but, yeah, it's kind of a bit of both. You go down, and at some point there's walls, and then it gets weird, but it just kept bringing me back all the time to the entrance. So I shared a lot, on the Malkavian network with a lot of the other people, and the theory we have is that it's just that it's kind of like a doorway to this other place, so you kind of go somewhere else. But and Cora leans into you, goes, the Malkavian network, is that like 5G?
Kinda. It's like a hive mind, like how bees have like a hive mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, It's like that. We can hear each other.
Oh, do you see
It's
each
better
other's
than
heads
5G.
too?
It's better than 5G. It's like 7G.
But does that mean that like everyone can see what you're thinking?
No, I think it's like you can like pick and choose what you share for the most part. Sometimes I can hear things, but I don't think that they can hear me, or maybe sometimes they can hear me and I just don't know that they can hear me, and then everyone just knows things that I'm thinking in the moment.
Oh, so it's kind of like Vampire Cloud and Vampire Discord or something.
Yeah. It's like vampire hive mind.
That's really freaky. Just so you know, that's really freaking me out.
You know, and I like lean into Cora. You're like right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not going to ask any more questions about that at this point, but it will be something that I bring up later on. I think that we have a lot to deal with in this moment. So
yeah, we're called glass walkers, just for future reference. Yeah.
Okay. Glass walkers, not the W word.
Well, we don't use that. It's kind of like you guys don't go around calling yourselves vampires, right?
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah. Okay.
I prefer the term werewolf, but
I could tell from the outback.
Professor's like, do you see a thread, Cassie? Anything? Is there like, I don't know, a string on the ground, or maybe floating in the air? What do you see? Come on, let's do it.
I see a sidewalk.
You actually see, as you say that, a piece of red thread that's going along the sidewalk and curves around and goes down the alley next to the building.
Huh. Wait, I actually do see something. And I'm just gonna kind of absent-mindedly start following it.
You follow this thread, you turn into the alley, and it goes behind, and then it turns into the back alley behind it, and then it leads to this door. And it's very weird. There's this door that's there that has nothing written on it, has no handles, nothing. It even looks like it shouldn't be there. Like it really doesn't fit in the kind of overall aesthetic or design of the house, but there's this black door that's just there enclosed, and the red thread goes right underneath it.
Through here.
Are we gonna need to bust the door down, or kind of what's going on?
I kind of look to Cora.
She's like, I can try, but she goes over and she puts her hand on the door, and the door swings inside.
Oh.
Yeah. And you see a corridor is very short and kind of ends in darkness very quickly.
I was about ready to have you just kick down that door, and that would have been very embarrassing for all of us to witness that.
Yeah. Well, it's something my mom, April, used to say all the time, was like, before you kick a door down, always check the handle. I think she meant like with people, like before you get angry at someone, like kind of ask what's going on. But
yeah, don't judge a book by its cover. Don't judge a door by its lack of a handle, kind of thing.
Yeah. Professor's like,
I'm walking and talking. I'm walking and talking.
Okay.
I'm going.
Cool. You walk inside, and the thread continues, and you can see it very clearly. Even when the corridor gets really dark, you can see it very quickly, and leads to this kind of like this big elevator for like bringing like a freight elevator, and the thread goes right between the two doors that are closed and disappears inside the elevator.
Go and press the call button.
There's only one button. You press it, the doors open, and it's like those old doors, like a set opens, and then there's like a grill, and then the grill kind of opens. You walk in, there's only one button. He's like, this wasn't here when I used to own this place. It's new.
Did you own the hospital?
Yeah, I owned it until Aegis came in. Oh yeah, I bought this thing a long way back. I just kicked everybody out, and I was like, get the fuck out of here. And I just, because I was going to be doing some weird ass experiments, and I didn't need them. Yeah, by the way, I hope you don't believe all those stories they tell about the things that happened at that orphanage back in it. Like, that's not really, anyways, we'll deal with that at some point. But
you just said you were doing experiments with it.
Yeah, but not like on people or anything like that. I was just trying to figure out what was down there, and I didn't want anyone to stumble on it,
Oh, okay. I guess as long as it wasn't on people.
I don't know who bought it after I got taken by Aegis, but I don't own it anymore. I don't own anything, in fact. I literally own only what you see on me, and you see he's wearing like just
What?
this kind of very random
Didn't you
jacket.
have people with you?
I've been like held in captivity at an Aegis fucking prison for like the past 6 months.
No, but like, when I was down here, you had 2 people with you.
Oh, Knight and Mare? Oh yeah. Those two, they turned on me like real fast. The second I got taken, they ditched. I have no clue what happened to them, but I haven't heard from them since then.
What was their deal?
Well, you know, that thing that didn't happen in the orphanage, yeah, they were like the 2 survivors, and you know, I felt bad, so I embraced them. But they were really, all the bad stuff that happened at the orphanage was them. Like, people say it was me and the others, and that's why the Malkavians got banned from Chicago, but it was them.
So you embraced 2 orphans who set an orphanage on fire because you felt bad for them.
Yeah. I mean, they didn't have anything.
Because
Plus, they
they
were
burned
fucking
down
crazy.
the orphanage they were in.
Yeah, but a small fire once in a while, you know, like... Okay, so it wasn't my best move. All right? I admit it. I admit it wasn't my best move.
Okay, as long as we're able to see our mistakes and learn from it, it's all about growth, you know?
Self-reflection is very important.
It is very important. It keeps us humble, too.
Yeah, I used to have a therapist. I don't anymore because, you know, vampire, but...
I mean, I could be your therapist. I actually have I've got a doctorate.
Do you?
Yeah.
Huh,
I'm actually
Nicola never
Dr.
mentioned
Cassie,
it.
technically now.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, gee whiz, congratulations. Cara says, you graduated?
Yeah. It's been a while.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't really, a lot has been happening. It was kind of the least of my concerns, honestly.
Well, congratulations. She gives you a quick little hug. Mom would be so proud of you. Mom would be really, really proud of you.
Yeah,
Like, look what you've done, Dr.
junkie
Cassie.
to doctor. Woo.
Hey. Dr. Cassie's got a pretty good ring to it. Can I call you Doctor from now on?
I think I like that.
Very well, Doctor. Ding.
Doctor.
The door's open, and the professor, we're not doing the bit. We're not doing the bit. We're not doing it. He walks out.
I just very quietly to Cora, Doctor.
You walk out, and you see this corridor that curves very far away. Like, it makes no sense. Like, it would have to be like across the street from where the building is, if, you know, the direction of... Yeah, it's facing as normal. As you start walking down along the hallway, you hear voices coming from somewhere else. They kind of echo around and they follow you, and it's this really strange thing where you're just, it's almost like you're in a box. You're in these long corridors. There's like this dark red carpeting, and the walls are
There's carpet.
There's carpet.
Oh, Cassie's immediately squicked out. She's tiptoeing. She's grabbing the wall, trying not to touch the carpet.
Professor's like, you okay, Cassie, Doctor?
I don't like carpet.
Oh.
It's bad.
And as you say that, you see the carpet get sucked into the floor.
Oh, what's that? What's happening?
And it disappears, leaving behind just this cold, flat, very smooth cement.
Cassie sort of kind of relaxes a little bit, tiptoes, just presses a foot very delicately on the floor, realizing it's solid. Oh, that's better. Okay, yeah, I can work with this. This is good.
You have a carpet thing?
I got a carpet thing. It's the texture.
Oh. I used to have this really shaggy one that I would just lie down on and grade papers on. That's back when I had my dog, this Pomeranian. He would come over and lick the side of my face as I was trying to grade, and I was just lying on this shaggy carpet. It was great.
We're 2 very different people, Professor. I don't want to hear about your shaggy carpet.
Well, I'm pretty sure that if you put, you know, a million Malkavians next to each other, you're not going to find 2 that are alike, which is kind of like what makes us great. The Toreadors, they're all the same. Fucking art fags, all of them. The Brujas, muscles, break shit, set fire to stuff. They're all the fucking same. The Tremors, all the fucking same. The Ventru?
Aren't they like,
Yeah, they're like, oh, I have the power, like fucking the guy from Star Trek, whatever, the Trek Wars, whatever, with the bzzz.
Oh yeah, stupid.
Totally. Cora's like, you know, when I found my heritage, my family as a glasswalker, and at some point you kind of go to, you know, Glasswalker 101, and they tell you a lot about things, including people like you, and how you are creatures of the worm, and you are sowing destruction and pestilence and corruption throughout the world, and we have to hunt you down and kill you. And they make you seem really scary, but the more I hang out with the two of you, the more I think someone played a very bad prank on us, because you guys are just weird.
I didn't realize I was sowing destruction in the world.
Maybe not you, but like,
Oh, like as a whole.
yeah, kind of like as a species.
I don't really think I know mostly anyone who's sowing destruction in the world. Maybe Helena. But I think that's just her default.
Yeah, we got to talk about Elena at some point too. Oh yeah, but not now.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just moving. I'm moving and grooving. We're following.
You know who's
thread.
not bad though is your friend Teddy. Like they're like your whole bunch. They're her people. They're okay.
Gangrel?
Yeah.
Teddy's very nice to me.
I know.
Is it because like they can like they're kind of like dogs, so you do feel like a kinship to them?
I don't know. I think they're like, you know, most of them are a little closer to nature than the rest of you. So at least they're kind of trying, I guess. It's kind of like, you know, that one uncle who recycles and composts.
Yeah, everyone's got that weird Uncle Bob.
Yeah. So Teddy's like Uncle Bob.
Yeah. Except she's Teddy.
Yeah. Hotter. Hey, is she single? That's okay. I don't think they'd let me date a vampire. It's okay. We can talk about it some other time. Professor's looking at you too, like.
I could talk to her for you. I don't know. She's I think it's a little bit of a complicated situation.
Oh, okay. Everything's complicated these days. Anyways, Professor's like, yes, let's, shall we? You continue walking down the corridor. At some point, you've been going left, right, kind of following. There's always just one door that opens. You're following that thread that's lying on the ground. I don't know if you pick it up or what. Do you pick it up or do you just follow it on the ground?
I think Cassie's afraid if she picks it up, it'll like break or something. So she's just going to leave it on the ground.
This red thread is always very clear to you. You can see it. The other two don't see it, but you inherently follow it, going down the corridor, going down the different steps. And at some point you turn the corner and you see in front of you a little park. And it's night, and there's one lamp that's there, one street lamp, and it's kind of got that old Gothic kind of feel to it that some of the lamps in Chicago have, those old ones with the big bulb on top. And at a on a bench right next to it, you see April sitting there.
I'm gonna kind of like tap Cora.
You look and Cora's not there, and the professor's not there either. You're alone. You're standing there. The thread goes through the park right by where April is, and April is sitting there alone. She's got like a coffee cup in her hand, like a paper coffee cup, and she's just kind of sitting there looking off in the distance.
I think Cassie kind of looks around, and then she's gonna kind of slowly go up to April and just silently sit next to her on the bench.
Oh, hi, Cassie.
Hi.
Hey, I heard you graduated. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I was just very excited. What did you say, honey?
Cora said that she saw you in the park.
Oh, I didn't see her. I'll tell her I'm sorry. I would have said hi.
Yeah, I graduated though.
Yeah, I hear that. You're a doctor now. That's amazing, Cassie. I'm so proud of you. Like, remember when you were like just having difficulty just getting up, going to school, going to high school, getting your classes done. You wanted to drop out all the time, and I would tell you like, one day you're gonna be happy you went through all this trouble, that you did all this, and you were like just not wanting to hear anything about it, but you still did it. And I was always really proud of that. And like, look at you now, a doctor. There's never been a doctor in a family, you know that, right? You're the first one. Like, I think you're the first one to have like anything like a master's degree in fact.
Oh yeah, it's because you believed in me and didn't give up on me when everyone else had.
Well, then I guess that's just what I was meant to do.
What are you doing down here?
I don't know. I don't know where I was. There's like a door that opened, and then everyone left. And then I didn't know where to go, so I came here, but I can't really see anyone or talk to anyone. I'm just gonna sit here.
Are you okay?
I think so. I don't feel pain or anything. It's just kind of lonely. Just kind of lonely, but I thought maybe this is what it was. Maybe like I was in the waiting room for a while, and now this was what heaven was supposed to be, or maybe hell, who knows. You know, being around the people you love, but they don't see you, like you don't exist. I thought that would be hell, to be so near the people you love and the people you care about, and to see them and see what they're doing, but they don't see you. They don't know you're there. I that would be hell to me. Is this what this is? Mine hell,
No.
Cassie?
No. There was something that happened. Some sort of door, veil, whatever you want to call it, seems to have been ripped down. And now there's just ghosts everywhere. You're just here in the world.
Well, that seems pointless and kind of mean too. Like, I don't know that me and the others did anything to deserve this. But why can I see you though? Why can I talk to you? Why can you see me?
You know Edgewater? Do you remember Edgewater?
Oh yeah, the old hospital. Yeah.
Well,
wasn't that run down?
we're underneath it now, or at least I thought that we were. I've been following a thread, and it led me here.
Well, you're always pretty good at that, Cassie. Finding something to follow, finding something that got you through it, something that even when you didn't want to do it, and even when it was hard, you were always pretty good at finding that little way through. I always admired that about you.
I'm gonna look around.
You look around and you see that the park has disappeared. There's like a little oval-shaped kind of side room in the corridor, and you and April are sitting there on this square little white plastic cube thing. The light is just this sort of like security light that's mounted in the wall. Thread still continues on down.
Do I see Cora or the professor?
No, but you hear their voices kind of indistinct and kind of far off.
I'm gonna get up. And almost like instinctively stepping towards where I hear their voices, following that thread. And I'm gonna look back at April.
When you look back, whatever you're gonna do, Cassie, it's worth doing well. I love you, girl. I'm so proud of you. So damn proud of you.
I think Cassie stays there for a second longer. I think there's this feeling that she might not ever see April again.
Eventually her face kind of goes blank and she kind of goes back to staring off in the middle distance, holding the coffee cup.
Love you too, Mom. And she'll turn and she'll walk.
When you turn, you run into Cora and the professor goes, oh, there you are. Jeez.
Sorry.
I thought we were going to be lost down here.
Ended up somewhere else.
Oh, yeah, this place will do weird things to you. You okay?
I'm gonna look at Cora. I saw Mom.
How was she?
She's sitting there with her coffee cup.
She loved doing that.
I think that whatever happened, whatever unleashed spirits, ghosts on the world, I think we need to figure out what happened there too, because I don't want her just stuck in limbo.
Professor says, okay, we'll put it on the list. One thing at a time. Let's solve this crisis, and then, we'll A-team it over and go to the other one.
Cassie's just gonna look down, look for the thread, and keep going.
You find it right away. You start walking down again, falling down the corridor. Vorena, the door opens, and you hear Gregor's voice as he says, there's a friend here to see you, and he pushes this other young girl there, about your age. She walks in kind of timidly. She's dressed kind of like you, very simply. You two girls have fun now, and he closes the door.
Hello.
Hi. Is this your house?
No, but it is where I live now.
It's much bigger than my house.
Where do you live?
I was told to say that I live here. They came to get me.
Oh.
My auntie brought me here.
Your auntie?
Yeah, she brought me here. She said that I was going to be living with Uncle Gregor now.
Yes, you probably are.
She looks around. These glass windows are really beautiful.
Yes, they are, aren't they?
It's so pretty, the light that they let in, and she runs over and she stands in one of them, and her face becomes like this multicolored pattern from the stained glass windows.
That's beautiful.
I wish I could paint this. You have paintings that you have paper, you have, and she runs over and she goes to the desk where you have like papers and paints and quills and stuff like that. She goes, is this all yours?
Yes, there's not much else to do here.
Oh, that's so nice. These books too, they're yours?
Yes.
I don't think I can read them though.
Do you not know how to read?
Not in this language.
Oh, what language do you know?
The language that my parents taught me.
Do you know what that is?
That's not this.
Hmm.
Oh, I have an idea. Stand here, and she moves you and she puts you in the stained glass window where the colors are kind of falling on you, and she goes over and she pulls the little desk over to you and she pulls the papers, and she's like, I'm going to try to draw you and get the colors right. Okay, don't move.
Oh, okay.
And she starts to draw and she starts to paint. And she's like, this is very beautiful, the colors on you, it's so great. And she's drawing away and she's painting, and then after she's like, I think a little more green.
That's my favorite color.
Is it?
Yes.
Mine's blue like the sky.
Matches your eyes.
Thanks. Anyways, look, what do you think? And she holds it up, and you can see this, to your eyes, incredibly beautiful drawing rendition of you, like with all these colors. I mean, it's really just a bunch of colored squares and triangles with kind of like a stick figure behind it. But to you, it looks incredibly beautiful.
Wow. You're so gifted.
Thanks. I was hoping that maybe Uncle Gregor would be able to get me some lessons so that I could get better at it. I was told that I had raw talent, but if I want to get better, I would need someone to teach me. Technique, something like that. Yeah. To become better. Do you think Uncle Gregor will allow me to have a tutor?
No, I don't think he will.
Oh. I thought maybe Uncle Gregor wasn't poor, but
He's not.
Uncle Gregor isn't mean, is he?
He's a very powerful man.
I hear he was a knight.
Yes.
And he
Very
went,
high ranking.
Yeah. He went to the holy city and everything.
Yes, he did.
That's pretty impressive.
Yes.
Can we go outside and play?
Oh, I don't know if we're allowed to.
And as you say that, the door opens, and Gregor puts his head in and says, "It's time to make dinner. You need to hop to it."
Yes, sir.
Are you okay? Do you need a piece of steak in your chest? You hear Nightmare say.
I'm sorry.
Vorena, are you all right?
What? Yeah. Yes.
You just tried to draw us. Like, that was really weird, so I thought maybe like you'd gone off somewhere.
Nope. No.
You're here?
Mm-hmm.
You're good?
Yep.
You're freaking weird, but you're good?
Rich coming from a Malkavian.
At least I have a good excuse. It's in my blood. Yeah.
At least I have a good excuse. It's in my bones.
Is that where it's at? Hey, tell me about this thing that you do where you move flesh and bones, and like that doesn't disgust you?
No. It's art.
I don't know. Someone played a prank on me at some point, and it was her, obviously, but she had this purse and it was full of spaghetti, but she like said, "Hey, put your hand in here and get me, whatever." And I put my hand in and I pull it, and it was just all this like gooey spaghetti that was coming out of this. It's so disgusting. And I kind of imagine it's probably what it feels like when you put your hand in someone's whatever and start moving it around, like just this cold, gooey spaghetti in a purse.
Do you remember being human and touching the softest, most velvety, warm blanket you've ever felt in your life?
No, we were orphans and we slept under burlap bags.
Mm.
It was very scratchy.
I'm sorry.
You're not. Why did you say that?
Sticking your fingers inside another living body, or dead one as it is, feels like touching a velvet blanket, the softest one, fresh out of the dryer.
Yuck. 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 Hold on. The other one pulls out her phone and she hits a bunch of. Could you say that again? That was really. Can I just record you? Can you say that again? That was great. I'd like to remember that. Can you?
No.
Just speak here. Just speak here. It's just going to record your voice. It's not going to steal your soul.
I will fuse that to your hand if you don't take it out of my face.
The other one said like that would be a fucking change.
I maim permanently.
It could be useful. I keep losing it. Anyways, if you're good and you don't need to be staked, maybe we can keep going.
Yes. Sorry.
No, it's quite all right. It's quite all right. Just around the corner. We're almost there. Don't worry. We're almost there. As you walk further down into the corridor, Cassie, you are walking and leading your friends down, following that thread. And eventually, again, as you kind of turn a corner, you remember something. You remember that time you came here. You remember coming here. You remember coming here after everything that happened when Teddy ran away from Aegis, when you were supposed to meet her and she didn't show up and you couldn't reach Helena, and then you just felt kind of sad, and so you came here. You remember now walking in here, and you remember walking into the reception area like you're doing now. The reception area, it's all destroyed, all in shambles, graffiti everywhere, junk, trash everywhere. And you see him standing there looking incredibly handsome, wearing a black turtleneck with the sleeves rolled up a little bit, black pants, black shoes that are shine, his black hair pulled back, just a handsome man. And he turns around and he says with an Italian accent, "Are you here to buy also?"
I'm sorry, buy?
I'm sorry, we haven't met. I'm Attius Giovanni.
Oh. No, I'm not here to buy anything.
Oh. All right then. Just visiting friends?
Yeah, a lot of friends down here.
What's your name?
Cassie?
Doesn't ring a bell.
I'm no one really.
Well, figures. All right. Well, thinking of buying this heap of land. What do you think?
People say it's haunted.
It is.
What are
It's
you gonna
very
do
haunted.
with it if you buy it?
Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take all the ghosts that are here and I'm going to put them in a jar and I'm going to send them back to Venice so that they can be put to good use.
Oh, I didn't realize that was an option of just putting them into jars.
Oh yeah, it is. You can learn to talk to ghosts. You can learn to make them do what you want. And one of the things that we can do is we put them in what do we call a reliquary, and we put them in there, and you can stack 7 or 8 of them in there, maybe 10 if they're not that big, and we ship them UPS right back to Venice. And then in Venice, they know what to do with them.
Do they just like stay here then? They don't get to cross over?
Oh, well, some do, some don't. We can always call them back. Just need to
So-
know their name or something about them.
After you've put all of the ghosts in jars and shipped them back to Venice, what are you going to do with this place? I mean, obviously, condos isn't really working out. I don't think that's quite the business venture you'd want to get into.
Well, now that you mention that, I think that's exactly the venture I'm going to want to get in. See, I need this to be a place that exists and has papers and belongs there so that the city doesn't try to take it away or tear it down, but I don't want too many people around, so maybe condos would be exactly the ticket. You're very smart for a, I'm going to guess Malkavian, but Toreador maybe?
No, I don't really have a affliction of liking beautiful things.
I used to have a bit of an obsession with beautiful things. I really, really loved, and he walks towards you a little bit. I really, really loved taking beautiful things and turning them as ugly as I could. I used to be obsessed with that. I would go around the village, the towns, find the most beautiful boy, girl, didn't matter, that I could find. The one that made everybody else in the village jealous, and I would take them and I would defile them and I would render them so filthy and ugly and repulsive. Most of them would just end up killing themselves. And if they didn't. But that was a long time ago. I'm much better now.
How did that make you feel when you did that?
Really good. Really, really good. See, a long time ago, I used to be beautiful, very beautiful, and then something happened and I became ugly, and that was upsetting, but I'm beautiful again. Don't you find me beautiful? Karen, was that your name?
So you became ugly, so you wanted to inflict that upon other people in order to make yourself feel better.
Yeah, I guess that's what I did. You know what I
Now
did
that you're
once?
beautiful again, you don't have to do that.
No, I'm off to other things. But you know what I did once? Like, and I think this was the lowest point really in my life. There was a toreador, someone that I knew, a painter. Her name was Fleur, you know, like flower. Stupid fucking name. Anyways, Fleur.
It's a nice name.
Yeah, you would think that. You're a Malkavian. Fleur was really, really disgusting to me. She was so beautiful. She was so in love with this pious little bitch. And you know what I did? I went around for years and years and years and decades buying up every piece of art that she ever created. And I took all her pieces of art and I hid them away and I put them in a vault. And when I moved to Chicago, I brought them with me and I hid them in a vault. I didn't destroy them. I would go in there and look at them. They were beautiful. But I did not let a single other being see them.
Because you didn't want other people to appreciate the beauty that was put into the world.
That's right. They eventually burned down in the fire that destroyed the White City in 28. And that was kind of liberating for me. I had my own little transformative moment then. And
Is that when you became beautiful again?
yeah. I was given an option and I took it. And look at me now. Handsome as the day is long.
So who were you before you became Attius Giovanni?
I think I'm going to buy this place and I think I'm going to build condos. That was a great idea, Cassie. Thank you very much.
Huh.
And he
Cassie's
turns
gonna
around.
look past
Yep.
him. And she's gonna start following the thread.
As you walk down the hallway, you hear his voice say, "Don't get lost, kid. There'll be monsters down that way. And you're too beautiful to waste."
I think Cassie looks back. Not afraid of monsters. She keeps walking.
And as you walk down the corridor, I think this is a good time for us to take a break. We're back. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. Thank you to Rollstream for the raid. We appreciate it. We're playing some vampire. It gets kind of dark, so just so you know, we appreciate the raid and I hope you hang out. But if dark's not your thing, that's cool too. But thank you so much for coming in. We have been taking a trip down some memory lanes here with Cassie and Vorena as they travel deeper into the maze that leads supposedly to a sarcophagus where something old and ancient is trying to get out, and they're going to try to do something about that. Let's go back to Vorena here as Cassie walks away from Attius Giovanni and finds her friends again and continues walking down to the maze. A few days have gone by, and you've been playing with your new friend. It's been a while since you've had a friend, someone your age, around here. There's definitely something that's happening. You can tell that there's a strange energy in the castle. Uncle Gregor keeps talking about something called a Cathedral of Flesh. And he's not being very forthcoming or saying what that is, but it sounds really bad. And he's saying stuff about how there's a plot to destroy it and people are coming, etc., etc. And there's a lot of activity. There's more soldiers that have been brought in, manning the walls. There's definitely kind of something in the air, but the two of you still manage to have, fun when you can. There are chores to do all the time, of course, but you still manage to find some time to slip away and read to each other in your language. You read books are in your language and vice versa, and painting and writing and things of that nature, or just kind of hanging out and talking about the future and, what kind of prince or princess you would want to be someday. Things that, kids fabulate about. One day, you notice that there's definitely a big change. Something's up in the air. There's a lot of energy. People are moving left, right, and center. There's a lot of activity. You haven't been given chores. The two of you find yourselves sitting outside in a courtyard. It's rare that you're let out, but you've been allowed out so that you're not underfoot today. And you're sitting on a courtyard. There's a single solitary tree in the middle of the courtyard. It's old, withered, twisted, crooked. It's got no feathers. It's got no leaves. There's really nothing. There's just this patch of really kind of dry grass around it, and but it's the only tree in the place, and the two of you are sitting underneath it. And she's saying, do you think we could go and visit sometime, maybe to Paris or something? Do you think Uncle Gregor would take us?
No, I don't think he will.
It gets kind of boring here. Do you get bored sometimes?
No, I don't.
She reaches out and puts her hand on yours. Can I ask you a question?
Of course.
Sometimes I hear people screaming in the castle, especially late at night, just before the dawn, before Uncle Gregor goes to sleep. I hear screaming, and sometimes I think maybe it's your voice that I hear. Is that true? Is it your voice that I hear sometimes screaming?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You can tell me. I know it's not easy living here, but you can tell me about things.
I don't know what you're talking about.
She looks at you for a moment, and you can see a tear will start to well at the corner of her eye. She reaches forward and she gives you a hug, a big hug, pulling you really tight against her, holding you tight. It's okay. It's going to be okay. As she hugs you, the sun is finally set down behind the wall, and a moment later you hear a voice, Gregor's. Vorena! Elodie! Stop laying about. There are things to do.
Yes, sir. Right away.
You look up and she's still holding you, not wanting to let go. And he says, come on, Elodie. Come here now.
I hug her in return. And I let her go, and I start walking away, and I say, Goodbye, Vorena. I turn and join him.
Come on, and he grabs you by the back of the neck. Pulls you inside the house. Vorena sits outside under the tree, wondering still why she was taken from her family's home and brought here. And as she watches you, Elodie, disappear back inside the house with Uncle Gregor, she gets this sense that she might not see you again. But then the Chamberlain, the other vampire who lives in this castle and works with Uncle Gregor, comes by, looks at her, says, "Well, Vorena, we have work for you to do also. Tell me, can you do a French accent?" And she grabs her by the hand and she pulls her into a different part of the castle. You come to and you remember that day when Gregor grabbed you and hauled you into the house and you saw Vorena for the last time. You remember when Gregor took you downstairs to his lab and pulled on your arms and your legs and your face and your muscles and your bones. And you remember when he was done and put you in front of the mirror and you saw that you looked exactly like Vorena. And he leaned in and he said, "Her name is Vorena now."
Yes, sir.
Hey, Vorena, you okay? You okay?
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
You kind of went away again.
No, just moving my brain around a little.
Does it rattle around? Like, did you make it smaller so that it kind of rattles around?
No, my brain is much bigger than yours.
I don't think so. Your skull's smaller than mine.
You don't know where I keep my brain.
That is a fair point, and I do not want to know.
No, because if you find out, I'll put yours there too.
Well, that's unsettling. The other one says that's kind of intriguing, actually, because I wonder where it is. Because is it like in a jar somewhere, or is it like in her butt, or is
I reach out and I like put my fingers through her lips and just pinch her lips closed to keep her from talking.
She looks at you with this look that's at first kind of like, what the fuck, and then kind of like, this is interesting.
It gets worse. Stop talking so much.
The other one's like, that was fucking disgusting, but I kind of liked it. Oh gosh, she's weird. Yeah, you think she'll let us keep her? Don't think so. As you keep walking, you start hearing voices. You hear two women, a man, someone saying something about, is the threat ever going to end? You turn a corner, Vorena, and you arrive in a circular room. It is almost empty, just this big wide circular room. The carpet that you've been walking on for the past several days is sinking into the ground, disappearing. On the walls, as if projected from hidden projector or something, are different images, different people. You see people you don't know, you don't recognize. Oh, yeah, there's one. Gregor. Uncle Gregor, you see him. He's in one of the images. Oh, and there's you. Or the way you used to look before Uncle Gregor changed you. And there's you, the way you look now, and other people, and there's these candles and these images of serpents and wolves and stars and all moving around as if there's some hidden projector that's projecting these on the walls, but there's clearly nothing. Cassie, you follow the thread, and as you round the corner following that thread, you see this very same room. You see people you recognize, Teddy and Elena and Vincent. You see Samael there, you see Bahari, you see all these people that you've known and met since your embrace. People you don't know, there's knights, strangely, knights. You see one very youthful, very beautiful knight, an old one, decrepit. You see people you recognize, people you don't. And across the hall, you see Knight and Mare, and with them is another person you don't recognize. Vorena, can you describe yourself for Cassie, please?
I am a bit shorter than average, very pale skin, these sort of watery blue eyes with these very, very large yellow rings around them, big pouty lips, slicked back blonde hair, in a red jacket on, and abnormally long limbs with very long fingernails at the end.
And Cassie, as you step into the room with the professor and Cora and see this, can you describe what Vorena would see looking at you?
You would see a tall, gangly woman, skinny, kind of hunched in on herself as though she's, despite being in her mid-20s at least, still a little uncomfortable with how tall she is, doesn't quite know how to carry herself. Long, dark hair with streaks of bleach blonde, as though she took some bleach in a Walmart plastic bag one night and just went to town, very uneven. Green eyes, dark makeup, dressed a little grungy, ripped shirt, ripped jeans, dark lipstick, wide eyes, looking around.
Hello.
Hi.
How did you get down here?
Followed a thread. How did you get down here?
Got stuck?
Got unstuck, it seems.
I don't know about that. And I look over to Knight and Mare.
When you turn around, you don't see them. They're not there anymore. You're alone in this room. When you turn towards Cassie, the people she'd come with are also gone. It's just the two of you. In this room, you hear echoes of voices around, but it's just you. And at the center of the room, you now see is this sarcophagus, this big stone sarcophagus. It's got angels engraved on the sides of it. There is an angel with a sword engraved on the cover of it, and on the side is a maze engraved in a shield that is being held up by angels.
That looks bad.
Do you know what that is?
Keeper, do I know what that is? No indication of what that might be.
Where does the thread lead?
Directly to it, and just underneath where the maze engraving is.
I think Cassie's gonna walk up to it.
I wouldn't touch it if I were you.
Vorena, in your head, you hear that soft voice that's back. It says, let her. She has to open it. Get her to open it, and I will give you the family that you want. I will give you the friends that you want. I will give you Elodie back. Either as your friend or as you used to be. And then you can have Vorena back. And as you look to the side, one of the images that's projected on the wall is the two of you playing, her drawing you in the light, the two of you reading to each other, you reading in French, she reading in Romanian to you. I will give you back your old self or your old friend.
Stop talking. Did you hear that?
Huh? No, but... Oh, this is a weird situation. Usually I'm the one hearing voices.
I figured. You're a Malkavian.
Yeah, and you're something else.
Yes. There's something here. I think it's something bad.
Is it in here? She'll look at the sarcophagus.
I would guess so.
As you look upon the sarcophagus, Cassie, you hear a voice coming for you, and when you hear it, it fills you with warmth and love and light. And you hear a distant voice of a young woman who says, "Great-granddaughter, you shouldn't be here. You're in danger." Why did you come? I tried to warn you. I tried to tell you to stay away.
You left me a thread. You had to follow it.
I was hoping you wouldn't.
What can I do? How can I help you?
If you open this and release me from it, this thing will be free. I've given everything to keep it here. Don't waste that.
We have the true cross.
The one that Santiago took?
Yeah.
You have it?
Professor has it.
Where is he?
She'll sort of look around. They were here a second ago. This place is a little weird.
Oh. This thing is stirring. It feels it wants something. There's something here it wants. It's stirring, it's moving. I have to... And then the voice goes away.
I'm gonna kneel down in front of the maze. Just not quite touching the sarcophagus, but just tracing the pathways.
As you do, when you trace it, you leave behind a slight trail of blood. When you check your finger, you're not bleeding, but where your finger goes, there's this little thread of blood that courses through it.
Can I find the way to the center?
Unerringly. You find it right away without any mistakes, any errors whatsoever.
I'm gonna look at Vorena.
Wait. You're not bleeding, but there's blood. Who were you talking to just now?
I think it was I don't know the term for it in reference to kindred, but my grandmother, great-grandmother, great-great-great-great-grandmother. She's in there with it, whatever else is in there.
Well, we don't want whatever else is in there getting out, even if it means releasing your great-great-great-great whatever grandmother.
As you say that, Vorena, you see her hand coming towards you, Vorena's hand, just before your uncle called you, grabbing your hand, holding it, that touch of warmth, that touch of humanity, that love, that friendship in her eyes. When she gave you that hug, the first time you'd been hugged in years, the first time that you had physical contact with someone, that it wasn't hurting you and tearing your flesh and your bones apart and resetting them, and that warmth and that happiness and that love floods through you. And you hear that voice again that says, "You've been so lonely, so alone, Vorena. No one understands you. No one sees the true beauty of you. No one sees the true beauty you bring into this world, and we can fix that. We can fix that. Just get her to open the coffin. Just get her to open the sarcophagus. She doesn't need to know why. Just get her to open it. I will take care of everything else. And you can be Elodie again, or you can be with Elodie again. You can feel that warmth, that graceful touch, the love. You can feel all of that. You can't even feel the sun on your skin again if you want. I can do all of that. I can make that permanent for you.
I don't believe you.
Do you not?
Cassie, what if your blood is the answer?
What do you mean?
Your blood is...
It's filling up the maze. It's filling up now, all the various paths filling up with blood.
What if it's your blood that keeps it sealed? Your blood is in this thing. Maybe it's your blood that keeps it there.
What should I do? Should I give it more? Should I put more blood in it?
I think so, yes.
Cassie's gonna... She should probably have a pocket knife. Take a pocket knife out and slit her hand. And she'll just press it onto the maze.
As you do, more blood starts to flow. The maze starts to fill out more and more. As it does, you hear distantly a voice, the professor saying, "Cassie! Cassie!" screaming for you. And as you fill that out, you hear Ariadne's voice say, "Child, what are you doing? You can't open this. You can't open this thing, child." You see the coffer start to shake as the lid starts to move, as the maze fills with your blood. The lid of the coffin starts to move. "Child, you can't do this. You cannot. You must keep this lock. You must keep this lock." You hear the professor from far calling, "Cassie! Cassie!"
Can I don't know how this world works. Can I will the professor and Cora back into the room?
What do you do to do that?
I think Cassie thinks that this is...
Forget rules. Just tell me.
Cassie thinks that this is something that is being shaped for her. This place is being shaped for her. It got rid of the carpet because she didn't like the carpet. She thinks that this is catering to her and her whims, and she wants the professor and Cora to be with her.
Thank you so much, Charmed Fantasy, for the raid. I'm playing Vampire the Masquerade. Thank you so much for coming in. We appreciate you. We love you so much. As you do that, Cassie, as you think that, you hear a distant, mirthful laughter. It's not the voice of your ancestor. It's a different voice. And as you wish for that to happen, you feel your blood being pulled from you even faster. You see it fill up even faster. The lid is shaking even more, and then you hear a different voice in your head from your ancestor, a different voice from Mariani's that says, "Do you wish to join me too? I had not counted on it. But if you want, if you are going to wish, I remove the carpet for you. I can do so much more for you, Cassie. I would be glad to have you. I can give you back April.
Cassie pulls her hand away.
Give me a...
Vorena at this point is going to have wrapped her arms and has started pulling her away too.
Give me a willpower roll. So roll a number of d10s equal to your willpower.
Oh, we have night moves.
You have 9 moves. You can spend a 9 move to get an auto success.
What's my target number?
Hold on, just before you roll. Is Vorena helping her?
Yes.
Okay, so Vorena, you can roll your strength. The number of dice equal to your strength. So the target is very high and you need more than 1 success. Your target is 8. So let Kato roll first.
Okay.
And for every success that Kato gets, you get to roll an extra die. Kato, do you want to...
Yeah.
Do you want to spend blood to increase your strength?
Yes.
You can spend, at your generation, you can spend up to 4 blood if you want.
I will spend 4 blood.
So you can augment your strength by 4.
Okay. Okay, hang on. What's the target again? 8?
8.
Wow. I will also... I'm going to use a night move. I got...
So night move doesn't let you reroll, it just gives you a success.
Yeah, I got 1 success and I will take a second.
Okay, so Cassie, you have 2 dice extra that you can add to your pool.
Okay. Do 10s, do I reroll 10s?
10s are not going to explode in this case,
Okay.
no.
I'm gonna use... I have 7 night moves. I'm gonna use 4 of them to
Wow,
get
alright.
6 successes.
6 successes, all right. It is incredibly difficult. As you start pulling your hand away, the blood is still being drawn out of it. It's still like gushing out of your hand. And as you're fighting to pull one hand away, your other hand starts to get pulled by there. The skin ruptures in your palm. Blood starts to seep out of it. Vorena, you see the skin ripping up all the way up along her arms. As you're pulling away, you're successfully both pulling her away from there. Her arms, her skin, it's just ripping and blood is just jetting out of her and hitting that maze. Cassie, you're going to lose 6 blood points.
I'm clasping my hands on her and just sweeping them down to seal it using flesh crafting.
Give me a dexterity plus body crafts roll.
Okay. I didn't realize I was muted earlier. What's my target?
Your target is going to be 8 again.
That is a 1 success, 2 crits, no failures.
Okay, are you going to spend more 9 moves to beef that up?
Yeah, I'm gonna burn a night move.
Okay, so that's 4 success and all 5?
4 successes with two of them being 10s.
Okay. I'm going to ask you also, while we're on this particular thing, I'm going to ask you to roll a conviction because you're kind of going against your path, which is the path of Lilith, which tells us that pain is a beautiful thing that everyone should encounter. So roll a number of dice equal to your conviction, which is 5. You're going to be looking for 6s.
That's 1 crit success.
Okay, you're good. So you don't lose any more of your path points. As you wrap your arms around her and close it, you feel intense pain, Cassie, as you see the skin on your arms get closed as Vorena runs her hands up along your flesh, closing it, and she's pulling at you. As she's closing wounds, others are opening, and she's trying to pull you out. And at the last moment, you manage, the two of you, to kind of fumble back. You can see that the The maze is almost completely filled. There's like 2 little rows in the center that have not yet been filled. You're still bleeding, but the blood is no longer jutting towards the sarcophagus. Vorena closes the rest of your wounds on your arms.
Thanks. I had a nightmare about this once. Didn't think it would ever actually happen.
Oh, this is a dream come true. That was so hot. Sorry.
Are we gonna kiss right now?
Do you want to kiss right now? It's a little different with me.
How different?
You know, maybe now's not the time.
Yeah, sure. Later.
Just a moment. You've gotten a bunch of hails. Iker and Ink. Raven Sarah gave a hail to Miri. Iker and Ink also gave a hail to Miri. Then Bradley dropped enough bits to give each of you 2 night moves.
Ooh.
So thank you very much, gang.
Thank you.
I think it's going to come in you, so I'm just going to scroll down and see if I'm missing any. You see the sarcophagus lid is partially open. You see your blood is roiling in that maze. You hear the distant voice of the professor yelling for you.
Can I call out to him?
You can. You start calling out for him. He's like, "Where are you? I have the cross. Where are you?" In your head, you hear your grandsire's voice say, "Leave, child, leave. You can't do this. You can't open this. This must not be open. Leave me here and go." In your head, Vorena, you hear, "That's a little disappointing. What would the real Vorena say? What would Elodie say? You could be reunited. You could be together. You can have Birdsong back. Would you like to have Birdsong back? I can bring him back. Look, he's here right now." And when you look up, you can see his face in one of the images on the wall, and you see the 2 of you arguing, and you throwing a beer can at him, and then him smiling. "I can give them all back to you, but you have to stop disappointing me."
I've acquiesced enough in my time. I'm not doing it again.
That was not the answer I was looking for.
I don't care.
Cassie, you're yelling for the professor. You hear him. It's almost like he's right next to you. And then you hear him scream. He starts to scream. He's like, "Ah, no, get off of me, stop." You hear a roar. This roar that rips through the entire place and echoes through the walls. There's something going on. You can almost see it. You can start seeing some of the images on the wall. You see the professor on the ground. You see Nightmare on top of him. You see this giant wolfish figure rising up behind them.
Oh boy.
What do we do?
Get the cross? Get the cross.
Yeah. Can I go towards the projection where I see the professor?
As you turn and start going towards there, all the other sounds stop around you. It's as if you're in a little pocket of silence, and you hear Ariadne's voice who says, "Child, I will burn everyone in this room with the power of sunlight to prevent this from opening."
We should leave.
What?
We need to leave.
Okay. What?
Cassie's gonna grab Vorena by her arm.
What about the cross?
She said she's gonna have sunlight, that she's gonna burn everyone.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, we should go. As
You grab each other, start moving towards the image. You see the professor. As you get to the wall, light comes back up around. You see on the floor the professor. Night is on him and is drinking him, and he's not moving. There's blood everywhere, and she's on him, and she's just pulling. Next to him, there's this giant silver gray werewolf that is fighting Mare, cutting into her with claws, ripping her apart. you notice that the room is completely closed off. It is circular, completely closed off. And you hear, both of you, that sinister voice in your head that goes, "Sunlight's good for the skin."
Can I go and rip, I can't remember if it was Knight or Mare, off of the professor?
Who knows? I've been totally going back and forth, giving all night, just switching the names around all night.
I thought you were saying "who knows" in response to her request to do a move. I was
I'm just like, no one knows who's Knight and who's Mare. They're just Knight and Mare.
I hate them.
You
Well,
wanna-
she's doing.
You want to go out on to the one that's on the professor?
Yeah.
Okay.
While she's doing that, I'm gonna stick my whole hand through, like, to the top of the spine, the cervical spine of the other one on the werewolf, and just start pulling.
All right. So you're going to bring me a dexterity and craft roll. Cassie, you rush over towards the professor. As you can see that Knight or Mare, whichever one's on him, is not paying attention. She's just draining, and the professor looks like he's desiccating. You kind of get an idea of maybe what's going on. What do you want to do? She's obviously kind of very focused on that.
I think I want to try to snap her neck if I can.
Okay, so you're going to make me a strength and brawl roll. You can spend blood if you want to increase your strength. I hope you're keeping track of your blood, by the way. We'll say you were full when you both came in here.
Oh, I was full, okay.
Yeah, we'll just say you were full. You can spend at your... at 10th level, you can spend 1 blood per turn. So you could spend 1 blood to get an extra point, and then that point in your strength will remain there for the rest of the scene.
Okay,
Vorena, you have 4 extra strength, right? Because of the blood you spent already into your strength.
I was doing dexterity and bodycraft, though, so I don't think strength.
Yeah, but I'm just reminding you so that you know if ever it comes up.
Oh. That carries forward, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it stays for the entire scene.
What's the target number?
So your target number is going to be, Myriad is going to be 6, and it's going to be 6 also for Kiddo.
I'm gonna burn a night move. So that's 2 successes. One of them is a 10.
Okay, I have 2 successes also on her resistance. So you're gonna reach in and you put your fingers in, push through the skin, grab the spine, and you start pulling out. And as you do, she kind of straightens up and looks at you and starts kind of fighting you. You're pulling on this. You've done some aggravated damage to her, and she's already in pretty bad shape. You're just not able to completely pull that out yet as she kind of turns on you. Myriad, what did you get?
So I got, I'm going to burn 2 night moves to get 4 successes and 1 crit.
Okay. You reach out, you grab her. She's going to do her stamina roll. That's pretty terrible. It's 2 successes. So you reach out, you grab her, you pull her away from the professor, you wrench her neck, you hear snaps. It doesn't kill her. Like, it does a fair amount of damage, but like, and then she sees you and she's going to lunge towards you. She is going to grab you and try to bite you. So you don't have an action anymore coming up because you've used your action, so you can't dodge, but you'll be able to roll your stamina. Do you have any fortitude?
No.
Okay, so you can roll your stamina. Your target is 6.
2 successes, and I'll burn an extra night move.
3 successes? Do you want to burn another night move?
Yeah, I'll burn another.
Burn another night move, and she grabs you, and you feel her fangs kind of sink into your neck, and you manage just with that extra night move, just to kind of back out of it, and it scrapes along your skin. You're going to take 2 aggravated damage, but you're not going to get bitten and held by her. Vorena, the other one turns on you, and she's very damaged and wounded, but she is going to try to hit you. She has this kind of weird crooked knife that looks like a piece of steel that's just been kind of sharpened up, and she's going to try to hit you with it. You've also spent your action attacking, so you're not going to be able to dodge, but you can roll your stamina. You don't have fortitude either, I don't think.
I don't think so, no. What's my target?
6.
3 successes.
3 successes. You get hit. right into the chest. You're going to take 2 damage, 2 regular damage, 2 end damage, 2 normal damage, not aggregate damage, as it kind of sinks into you. You can, if you want, heal that. 1 blood point per wound will heal normal damage, and you can spend up to 4 blood points in a turn.
Sorry, how many points
1
did I
blood
take?
point per wound. You took 2 wounds. 2 normal.
I will burn those 2 blood points.
All right. As the knife pulls out, the wound starts to close immediately. Bradley gave each of you 2 more night moves. Thank you so much, Bradley.
Oof,
2 more
Bradley,
night moves.
dang, thank you.
Yeah, coming in hot, as you kind of need it. Your turn now. The 2 of them, Nightmare, are kind of facing off against you. What would you like to do, Myriad?
I would like to use passion to try and dull the emotions from the one trying to attack me. So if they're feeling any sort of rage or any sort of murderous intent, I would like to dull that.
All right, so that's a charisma plus empathy. You're going to have a target of 5, which is not their humanity because they don't have humanity, but is their path score.
5 successes.
5 successes. All right. So you reach out, you dull that passion, that anger that they have in them. You can see right away kind of the effect. It's probably not going to stop them completely from like trying to fight, but like they kind of seem dazed and confused a little bit and kind of back off from you and sort of look around a little bit kind of confused, and you realize you've bought yourself a little bit of time. Vorena,
Yes.
you're going to see she's going to try to hit you again. You can.
Do I have an action?
Do you want to? If you want to try to dodge, what you're going to do is you're going to calculate how much dice you would have for your action. You're going to split that in 2 so that you can use some to dodge and some to do whatever action you want to do after. What do you think you'll want to do?
Well, what I want to do is use my horrid form.
Okay, that doesn't require any rolls, right?
Nope, it's just 2 blood points.
Okay, so I am going to say that you can dodge with half your dodge pool. So you're going to roll your dexterity plus dodge, but you can only use up to half your dodge.
Am I in horrid form prior to that, or do I do dodge first?
You will do dodge first, then you will transform.
Okay, so dexterity plus dodge.
Yep.
Okay. You said half?
Yeah, you can roll up to half your dexterity plus dodge.
What if rounded up or down?
Round it up. Target is 6.
2 successes, 1 of them is a crit.
All right, so she hits you again, doing another normal damage, not aggravated, as she stabs you with her little makeshift knife. And then you transform. So I don't know if that costs blood or anything, but
It does, yes.
So pay the toll. Make sure you're keeping track of your blood also, because you spent
I am.
and give us a little description of what happens as you power up as a Zimshi and go into your horrid form.
As I dodge and like kind of catch that slice down the flank, you just like hear the cracking of bones and ligaments as she just like unfurls like her spine impossibly long. The arms extend out, the elbows become very protuberant, and like these long, terrible looking claws that end in these sharp, vicious silver points. And she's covered in this kind of like fine hair, and you just see her, she's almost like full dragon like, as you see this like elongated snout and these silver teeth. Would that be my
still want to kiss her, Cassie?
I think even more so now.
Okay.
Probably.
Am I allowed a retaliatory attack, or is that it for me?
That is it. That's your transformation. That's going to be your action. You transfer into this thing, and you see Nightmare, whichever one she is, face kind of go wide as she's surrounded by you and a werewolf. Back at the other side, Miri, what would you like to do? I didn't attack you. Yes, I did, right? No, I didn't attack you.
You said that the one was dazed.
Oh yeah, right. You use your thing. So she kind of backs away from you, and you can tell that she's probably gonna come back and do something. But I'm gonna say that she loses her action this time. So you have a turn. What would you like to do?
Can I grab the cross from the professor?
You can try to grab the cross from the professor. You can give me an investigation plus perception roll.
That's going to be 3 successes.
You remember where he put it. You remember that he reached in and put it in the inside pocket of this weird kind of bomber jacket he's wearing. You reach in there, you grab it, you pull it out, very happy, and then you remember, fuck, there were 3 nails also, and you go back and you start searching that pocket. They're not in there, and you kind of frantically look around and you find them in his other pocket. You pull that out, and as you do, you pull out the 3 nails, and you pull out a piece of paper that's folded over several times.
Can I look at it?
You unfurl it quickly, and you see that image of Odette La Madone that you had seen, that yellow poster that you had seen in his den at some point. It's folded over very carefully. It's super old. It's from the 1920s. It's like old and weather beaten, cracked and whatnot, but you can see it's been lovingly kind of folded and sort of kept. And you can see Odette's face kind of beaming at you from it. And now that you understand that what's down here is not Odette, you can kind of, it loses a little bit of its sparkle in its eye, but you kind of get that sense of there's this long thread, this connection. The blood is the thread. It started with the 13th down to Ariadne, down all the way to Odette, to Georgina True, and now to you. That's the thread. The thread is your blood. It's come down all the way from over 1,000 years ago to this moment. If you ever had a purpose in your life, this might have been it.
I would like to take the cross over to the sarcophagus.
You start heading towards there. 1 more hail each, Kato, you said?
Yep.
1 more hail each, or each of you get who from who, do we know?
From Silver Rest.
Silver S, thank you so much. So
Thank
each of you
you.
get an additional 9 move. You start walking towards the sarcophagus. Back on the other side, it is your action, Kato. The Nightmare, wherever she is in front of you. You see Cassie walking towards the sarcophagus.
So, is anything a direct threat to Cassie right now? Like,
There's the other Malkavian is there, but like she seems a little bit dazed, though she's looking towards Cassie again.
I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pick her up by the throat, and I'm gonna open the other one's mouth as wide as I possibly can, and I'm gonna shove it in. I'm gonna shove the other Malkavian inside her and just seal it shut.
That's worse than spaghetti and purse.
You told me I got to play Vorena, so.
Okay, so that's 2 actions. So I'm gonna have you split your pool.
Okay.
Okay. So what's your strength plus brawl?
Strength plus brawl right now in horrid form with the additional bonus that I have for strength is 15.
Okay. What's your dexterity plus craft?
Dexterity is also bumped, so that's 11.
Okay, so as per the rules of the game, you have to take the smallest dice pool from the 2 actions you want to do, so it'll be 11, and you have to split those dice between the 2 actions.
Okay.
So tell me right now how many you want to put in the brawl and how many you're going to put in the crafting.
So I get 5 in one and 6 in another.
Yeah. Or
I'm putting.
You can split however you want. You could put 3 and, it doesn't matter. 3 and 8.
I'm gonna go 5 for brawl and then 6 for crafting.
Okay.
Because I'm a Libra. What's my target?
So your target is 6.
I got 4 successes. 1 is a crit.
Are you going to spend some 9 moves on that?
Yeah, I'm gonna burn 2 night moves on that.
Good call, because she had 5 successes.
Yeah, I'm gonna kill her.
So 2 9 moves. You reach out, your arm. Remember Arcadian? Your arm unfurls once and then unfurls again as you reach out and grab her.
Yeah.
Pull her over, and in the same time, you're trying to open up the other one. So now roll your crafting roll.
Okay.
This one's going to be difficult. This one's going to be a target of 8.
Oh, Bradley dropped another bid in there.
How much did Bradley drop this time?
1,000.
Another 1,000. 2 more 9 moves each. Who is this Bradley fellow?
Who is this Bradley fellow? Okay.
Who is this man?
Who is this man? Okay, what's my goal?
8.
That's 2 10s, a 9, an 8. And I'm going to burn an additional 3 night moves for that one.
What's the total number of successes?
1, 2, 3, 4. Do crits count for double success?
No, not in this case.
No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to go 6, 7. 7 is what I'm doing.
7 successes. Describe to me what this looks like. How do you do this?
You know how in the film Beetlejuice, there was that whole moment where they were like, you know, Barbara's opening her mouth and her teeth are like really elongated and she pops her eyeballs through it. It's full of whimsy and it's really fun. It's like that, but real. And I just open her like a fucking like medical bag as wide as I can. And I grab this other Malkavian, like crunching her neck, and I shove her head first down into it. Close the first Malkavian's mouth, and then I just, with my finger and like a thread of like ligament and tendon, I am weaving a whole perfect suture all the way around, and then I'm gonna hermetically seal that bitch.
And as you really make Nightmare into one, for the first time, and I'm granting one of them's wishes, you seal it off, you drop the whole fucking mess on the floor, proud of yourself, and then you see the werewolf standing in front of you, slaver dripping from its jaws, eyes red with anger, seeing this horrible, corrupted, monstrous form. You see its claws open up. Cassie, you rush towards, you hear the most sickening sounds, and because I've traumatized Myriad enough tonight, I am not going to make them.
Thank God.
But you hear the most sickening, crunching, wet, ripping, gargling sounds you've ever heard in your life. You don't dare turn around. You have no clue what's going on, and you don't want to know. And as you reach the sarcophagus, you hear a very low, menacing growl coming from Cora. You are a few feet away from the sarcophagus. What do you do?
Can I look behind me?
You don't want to.
Look behind you. There's a writhing mess of Nightmare on the floor. There is this incredibly horrifying, monstrous thing that Vorena has become. Kind of like a Komodo dragon skeleton thing standing on its hind legs. And then there's Cora in front of her, staring her dead in the eyes, unfurling her claws and looking like she's about to jump. Behind you, you hear the lid of the coffin move, stone scraping on stone as it vibrates and starts to move. You feel something you haven't felt in a long while. Warmth, like sunlight. You see your shadow on the ground start to elongate. What do you do?
I think I'm going to yell at Cora to get the professor and leave. And then I'm going to turn and... Would I be able to try to shove the lid closed a little bit more?
Tell me what you tell the professor. And first of all, when you look at the professor, he's on the ground. He's not moving. He looks like yesterday's news. Oh, sorry, you were yelling at Cora to leave.
Cora to get the professor, because...
What do you do? What do you say to reach Cora? And do you want to make a roll of some sort? Or do you want to just sort of rely on saying something?
think I want to make some sort of persuasion roll. I'm going to tell Cora, you need to leave and get out of here. You need to live.
I am going to have you roll your manipulation. And then I will give you... I'm going to give you empathy, but I am going to give you an extra 2 dice as bonus because of your connection to Cora.
Okay.
And because you know how to take April's tone and mimic it when you say leave.
What's my target number?
Your target number is its rage, which right now is 9.
Four successes.
Do you want to use 9 moves?
I will use 4 night moves.
Vorena, you hear something from behind you, but you almost can't pay attention. You are staring at this werewolf, and you know no matter how badass you are, this is a fucking werewolf. This thing is literally designed by the universe to hunt and destroy your kind. And it's unfurling its claws and it's looking at you, and then you hear this voice coming from behind you, and it's got this sharp, motherly kind of inflection in it. And you see the werewolf look up. Some of the rage goes from its eyes. It looks up over your shoulder. It looks back at you. It turns. It grabs the professor, starts to walk out, and stops, realizes there's no door. There's no way out. Cassie, you've told her what you wanted to tell her. You turn back around. As you turn around, this arm is jutting out of the sarcophagus, this old weathered arm that is covered in these scales. You're not sure if it's some kind of suit or the body. It's made like this. It's this old withered hand, and it grabs you by the throat. It grabs you by the throat and it starts to squeeze.
I come barreling in.
Just one moment. I'll hold that thought for a second.
Can I take the cross and can I jab the end of the cross into its arm?
First thing you're going to do is you're going to give me a courage roll.
It's my target.
Your target is going to be 6.
3 successes.
Okay. You see a series of images flash in front of your mind. Great, beautiful moments with April. Sitting with her in the kitchen, sunlight pouring in as she's helping you with some of your homework. Going out to the market with her. Christmas. You getting that municipal waste CD you really wanted, whatever it was that you had your heart set on, that she'd said she would never get you, but that she finally got you. And you feel all of that slowly sip away. And then you steal your mind and you push it away. And as you do, you hear April's voice say, "That's my girl." And you push it away and you come back to it, and the claws have sunk into your neck. You're going to take 2 more aggravated damage as this thing is pulling you into the sarcophagus. You each get an action. What do you want to do?
I'm going to jam the cross into its arm.
I am going to swing a leg up and over the arm and sit on the lid of the sarcophagus and brace while she's doing that to help her.
How many 9 moves do you guys have left?
4.
You ready to burn them?
Yeah, let's do this.
You burn the rest of your 9 moves. Cassie, you jam the true cross down into the arm of the creature. As you do, you automatically see the skin starts to burn and crack. The fire starts to spread throughout all of it. You hear this scream in your mind, and it's echoing inside the sarcophagus. You jump on the sarcophagus with your horde form, put all your weight down on it. You hear the crunch as it sits down and hits the arm. You feel immediately the lid start to lift up from under you as this thing is rising out of this coffin. The unnamed is pushing the coffin lid with its other hand. You feel this sense of hellish horror, this sense of fear, this sense of ancient anger, hunger, hatred just emanate and wash out of this coffin as you're fighting to prevent yourself from being dragged into it, Cassie. And as you are fighting to push this coffin lid down, you see a brief flash of light inside the sarcophagus. Cassie, you hear a voice, that sweet voice, that first voice that brought you here, that says, I made the sacrifice willingly once. I make it again. I will keep it here. Thank you. That flash of light stops. The arm starts to wither. It falls into ash, crumbles to the ground. The lid reseals down where it's supposed to be. You move your ass on it a little bit and clunk, it falls where it's supposed to go. You see Cassie on the shield of the Archangel Saint Michael depicted on the cover of this. There is something missing. There's an indentation in the middle of the shield in the form of a cross with 3
slam
holes.
The cross down, and I'm gonna push the nails in.
You slam it down, you push the nails in. The room is gone. You are sitting on this very unremarkable slab of white stone. There are no designs, no angels, no maze. You are in the basement, in the storage area of what appears to be maybe a condominium building. On the floor, the professor is not moving. There's this horrible massive nightmare that you just don't want to look at. Cora is standing there, her clothes ripped to hell, but in human form. You're sitting now on the ground, Cassie. You're kneeling next to the coffin, rather, where your hand on top of it, where you put the true cross back on top. Vorena, in your horde form, still all gangly, all bones and spines and sinew, sitting on top of the sarcophagus.
I think that I'm gonna reach a hand up to Vorena. My name's Cassie. It's nice to meet you.
Extend a gnarled looking claw forward and I grasp her hand small in mine. I go,
I'm Vorena. Pleasure's all mine, dear.
and I start shrinking back into normal form.
Cora moves over kind of protectively next to Cassie, keeping an eye on Vorena. Are we good?
I think so. We all saw that, right? We all saw that?
Yes. But coming from me and a Malkavian, I don't know how much water it'll hold.
We should leave.
What do we do with this? We can't just leave it here. People know it's here.
Maybe we can have someone come in and move it.
I think we should encase it in cement and drop it into Lake Michigan. But that's just me.
I think that would be the best, honestly. I don't know where we would get all that cement, so.
I know a guy. He can make it permanent for us.
Cement, Lake Michigan. Good idea.
Just a
My
thought.
my Outback sparked Outback.
It's not out front.
I just wanted to make that joke to lighten the mood, but that's okay, Cassie. Yeah, it's out front.
Hey, Cora.
She looks at you with like fucking hatred and suspicion. Not hatred, but like deep suspicion in her eyes.
You cool?
For now.
Okay.
She reaches out a hand to you.
I return the favor.
I make my hand feel normal.
The touch of her skin, the warmth of it is something you haven't felt in a while. Usually when humans touch you, it's because they're trying to bat you away as you're trying to do something terrible to them. It's a novel feeling. She shakes it once and then takes her hand back and kind of rubs it on her pants, but you get that. It's okay.
Where are you gonna go, Vorena?
I don't know. I don't really have any friends. All of my friends are dead, and not in the way that we understand dead. I mean, they're gone, dusted.
Do you need a place to stay? It's a studio apartment, but like, it's big enough for at least 2 people, I imagine.
I also know you have a lot of money now, and
Oh yeah, I do. I have a lot of money.
Then we definitely can get a cement guy.
We can get a cement guy. We can get really good cement.
Yeah.
I don't know what like the grading of cement is, but we get like grade A cement.
Not coarse, really fine cement.
Really fine, smooth cement.
Mm-hmm.
okay, can we leave the construction talk for when we're gone from this place? Because I got the heebie-jeebies big right now.
Yeah, even I've got the heebie-jeebies. That's really hard to do. I don't think
God,
I've had goosebumps.
that's weird.
We should
Yeah.
go.
That's like the sleep paralysis demon having a sleep
Yeah.
paralysis demon. That's really
You know, my goosebumps look really like actual like
I know,
goose skin,
no,
and it's really pretty gross. So
no, she turns around and walks out.
I'm gonna. Can we take the professor with us?
is he dead? Dead?
I'm gonna go up to him.
You go up to him. He's clearly not alive anymore. Vorena, you've seen enough diablerized bodies to know that he may not have gotten diablerized, but he was in the process of.
I think he's gone, Brad.
I'm gonna take out my pocket knife and I'm gonna cut a finger off.
I could have done that for you.
Oh. Sorry, I'm just used to cutting my own body parts off.
What are you collecting body parts for?
Helena likes to have them sometimes.
Who?
You'll probably meet her. She owns like a nice little shop that sells fun oddities.
I like the sound of this Helena person.
Yeah, she's got a snake. I don't really like the snake though. He looks at me weird.
A snake, huh?
Yeah, it's big.
Big snake. Interesting.
You find your way back out. As you're about to leave the building, deep in discussion, the two of you and your mind going back over everything that happened, you hear Cora's voice say, "Cassie, no, stop." And just the second she says it, you realize you're about to step outside and it's daylight.
Shit.
You step
Sorry.
outside and you see that half your body is in sunlight.
I start
It
to
feels
burn.
uncomfortable, but it doesn't hurt.
I think
Vorena reaches out and grabs you. Yes, go ahead.
I think I like start to like reach out a bit towards the sun.
The hand that you held the true cross with. You reach out. You feel the sun play on your skin for the first time in several years. It's this odd feeling. It's uncomfortable, but not untenable. You're not burning. You're not hurting. Vorena reacts, grabs you, and pulls you back inside the building. Cora comes running. I'm sorry, I didn't think at all. I totally didn't think. I just walked out and I thought to myself, oh, at least the sun's out. And it just totally, I'll back the car. I'll back the car right up to here. It'll be fine. Just give me a second. I'll go block out the windows. I'll be back. And she runs out.
I'm gonna look at Vorena and just hold out my hand to you.
I'm gonna look at her hand. Do I notice anything?
Looks normal.
Didn't burn.
Yeah.
Felt nice.
Like what?
Warmth. Home.
Cora backs up the car all the way to the door, opens the hatchback. You see that she's had plastic tarps in the car and she's kind of covered the windows in the back. She's like, I get in, it's the best we could do, but it should be fine until we get somewhere we can hole up.
Okay.
Okay, Cassie will get in.
Vorena follows.
You get in, close the door. The two of you are sitting in shadows. The car starts driving. Two of you sit there, staring at Cassie's hand. Car drives on. You stay in shadows a little longer. And that, my friends, is where we're going to end tonight's session of Thread.